Let's go straight to Rod Laver Arena for the match between Bohdan Ulihrach of the Czech Republic and the #1 seed Andy Roddick. Players are on the court. Your commentators are John Alexander and Sandy Roberts.
Yes, a tough ask, Joe, for Bohdan Ulihrach, who's met Roddick on 3 occasions prior to this. And Roddick has been successful on all 3, and all 3 of those matches were played in 2002. Roddick accounted for Gonzalez in a contest of the big hitters in the opening round, 6-2, 7-5, 7-6. Ulihrach battled against Lars Bergmuller after a somewhat slow start. He took the 3rd and 4th sets in convincing fashion.
First set, Roddick.
So the A-Rod set to continue in his quest for his first Australian Open, serving in the opening game of the first set.
15-love.
Confident start.
His trademark, 989 aces last year on tour.
30-love.
Must have a taxi running with with the meter running outside. That's how he plays, though, isn't it? As if he's in a big hurry. Rushes his opponents, bustles them, doesn't let them settle down.
And holding serve in just under a minute. Well, he's played a lot of tennis, Andy Roddick, in recent times. In fact, last year on tour played won 72 matches, lost 19, in stark contrast to Bohdan, who was doing time, 9 months in fact, won 3 and lost 7, playing only 10. Played a handful of challenger events too.
Ulihrach to serve.
But we should suggest and mention that his 2-year suspension was revoked after some 9 months. Here he is serving now. Love 1.
Well, there's so much information coming out regarding the issue of this substance had been found in so many players. It's a weight of evidence that suggests it was innocently taken.
In his case, yes, dispensed by trainers. And discovered in electrolytes that were in fact dispensed to him.
So some of the players have been cruelly dealt with. Duck. Oh, the easiest forehand. Andy there in lots of time, almost too easy.
Ulihrach, however, of the 2 is the veteran when it comes to Grand Slams. He's playing in his 30th Grand Slam, his 6th Australian Open. Andy playing in just his 13th and his 3rd Australian Open. And he holds to level at 1-all. Yes, the biggest moment in Guccioni's short career, as Roddick just pounds it down. 212 Ks straight down the middle.
3 aces already for Andy.
Well, he served 20 in his first round match against Gonzalez. So the Roddick serve on song so far this week.
13-15.
And that's the great thing. He's got that flattish first ball straight down the centre. And then it goes up with the switch up slider at about 183. No time to settle down for Bohdan. Under fire.
So no problems on serve at the moment for the number 1 seed, Andy Roddick. 2-1 after just 5 minutes.
1 as we return to Rod Laver Arena and Jane Sandy.
Bohdan serving, but movement in the stands just taking his eye. Bohdan's serve in stark contrast to that of Roddick. 146 Ks compared to around 212, 220.
But then, knowing that Andy was playing so far beyond the baseline, just tried for a short angle there. Pretty cunning shot, just caught the top of the net. It would have caused Andy some problem. It's a very easy serve. He's quite a big person, Bohdan. 6'2", 1.88 metres, 80 kilograms, powerfully built. But really just got a very lazy, easy, effortless action. Doesn't try to generate too much pace. Bohdan stepping up the power, really rifling some forehands and backhands there, but to no avail. He goes down break point. That one ball just touching the outside edge of the line.
Just. And there's the break. The first break in the first set going the way of the number 1 seed, Andy Roddick. So now Ulihrach has to survive the serving barrage from Roddick. Just as you've survived the verbal barrage from Roy and HG.
Two funny men and very, very knowledgeable about tennis and all matters where humour can be applied, which is everything.
7.
And immediately, knowing that he got that one all wrong, trying for a defensive slice backhand, play the ball back into court.
Ace number 5. Too easy on serve at the moment for Andy Roddick. He leads 4-1.
4 games to 1 person.
Labour Arena.
So the seeds continue to tumble. Here's Bohdan. And while we're talking serving, the incredible statistic with Andy Roddick in the last 12 months, he wins 91% of his service games. No wonder he's confident when it comes to his serve.
There is a number of statistical categories that he leads on the tour.
4, I think, in fact.
And one of them which really caught my eye was the number of points that he saves on break points. 69% of the time he wins the point when he's facing break point. That is extraordinary. It's one of the things that links all the leading players. They play their best on the critical points.
Well, the 4 categories, Jay. The ace department, of course, almost 1,000. First serve points 1, serving games 1, and break points saved.
Wouldn't be a good thing for the opponent to know those things. And this is one of the things that Brad Gilbert has really introduced to his game. That last forehand was 191. There's never been a forehand hit faster on this planet. It didn't go in. That is just an extraordinary pace.
191.
The fastest one that Philippus hit last night, 155, did go in. We had a 160 today from the young Czech.
Bohdan can't serve at 191.
But what I was going to say, that's not what Brad Gilbert has brought to his game, 191 forehands. It's the hustle and the chase and the defensive play. It's made Andy into a far more complete player. He's taught him how to win.
Well, he's got him thinking, too, about his game.
Well, previously he was a prime example of a player that relied solely on his ability to hit tennis balls. He was a hitter of tennis balls. He wasn't a tennis player. Being a tennis player is bringing your brain to your game and utilizing it to the greatest effect, so to being efficient and effective. That's what he is now. And maintaining that extraordinary ability to hit shots, taking full advantage of that, but not paying the penalty of making unforced errors and losing unnecessary points. It's almost like history repeating itself, because when Andre teamed up with Brad Gilbert, Andre said, "I've spent a lifetime losing matches I never should have lost because I hit the ball so well," and Brad had spent a lifetime winning matches he never deserved to win. Not to insult his ability to hit a ball, but he didn't lead the category in forehands, backhands or serve winners.
No, but he led it in winning ugly.
He wrote a book called Winning Ugly.
And you just have to wonder, and I'm sure Bohdan is, what he has to do to try and break this mammoth serve. 5-2 to Roddick.
It's like 5 games to 2 first.
Where Andy Roddick is serving. Is Ulihrach serving to stay in the set. Ulihrach at 2-5.
Number 15.
Bohdan has had success here. He reached the fourth round back in 1999. That's his best result. But now Andy Roddick has 3 set points to really race through this first set.
Looking for the call, and rightly so.
13-14. And for service.
Look, I can be awfully cruel on a player that's playing on the come and trying to intimidate linesmen. They will be disrobed for what they are.
And there's the first set. Roddick racing through it. 6 games to 2 to the number 1 seed in just 20 minutes. Andy Roddick opened the second set with an ace.
Bohdan Ulihrach settling down now, punishing this ball that landed around the service line right into the forehand corner. And getting back the Roddick serve with some interest in centimetres of the baseline. And Roddick, for the first time, in a little bit of trouble. Have to see this as a golden opportunity at 15:30. Now I'll look at the second serve, but this could be the best second serve in the game.
It could, but on that occasion it wasn't. And, well, what a turnaround, what a reversal this will be, because in the first set Roddick won 28 points, Ulihrach won exactly half, 14.
Missing the first serve on the vital point. Remember, he has a 69% success rate on vital points.
13.
This goes up a little bit. Saving one, still facing another break point. And you could almost bet that he would have an ace on one of those 2 break points.
That's number 9 for the match. And Ulihrach's opportunity is being smothered now by the Roddick serve. 10 aces, and we're only into the second game of the second set. Roddick in control as he was in the first.
Awesome power from every part of his game. From the forehand, it's expected on the serve. Ruthless display of aggression from mid-court. Another part of his game that's improved, following it in and bowling safely into the open court. Always the power on the serve and the forehand from three-quarter court, and automatic for Andy Roddick. And winning that last game with a smashing backhand down the line. And like so many of the players, with his ankles heavily taped, and it was just 2 years ago, not last year, the year before, where he had to withdraw from this tournament with a sprained ankle. When he had come here after playing so well at the Adidas International in Sydney. Many people saw him as a possible winner that year, but to cut short with injury. Bohdan, a very experienced player. He's been as high as 22 in the world. Well, that's great scrambling. The chop backhand, the chop forehand to get into court. High defensive lob here, giving him a chance. Took Bohdan way back into the court and then missed the easy backhand. Bohdan again under pressure on serve. Very hard to settle down against Andy. Very difficult to get your rhythm. Of course, at the number of winners that he hits and aces. And the knowledge that you've got to keep up the depth and the pace and the accuracy of your own shots, otherwise he will punish anything mediocre.
Yes, he's punishing him at the moment. He's got another 2 break points. This time it's the Ulihrach serve that does the saving. Only momentarily. That ball is wide. Roddick affects yet another break and has taken control of the second set.
And here's the points won on the Roddick serve, and just 1 lost in the backhand corner. That was in set 1.
Only 7 unforced errors from Roddick to date. 16 from Ulihrach.
Total points won, still running at that 2-to-1 ratio, 40-20. Just running away with this match. His fastest serve at 2:25.
Closing in on his quickest ever, which was 2:39.7. Effortless for Andy Roddick. He'll leave 3 love in the second. The winner of this match to play the winner of the Juan Ignacio Taylor Dent match. And at the moment it is most certainly going to be Andy Roddick. Ulihrach serving, trying to get on the board in the second.
30-11.
Ulihrach picking up the forehand winner down the line.
Just a handful of winners for Bohdan. That was his 5th. Well, Ulihrach holds, and he's on the board in the second set. And he tries some fancy stuff. Speaking of fancy, Average Joe starts on 7 this February. That could be the 7 commentary team chasing the girl. True romance just from Mr. Average.
Well, the story is that a beautiful young woman says that looks are not important. She's seeking true love. She wants personality, humour, and a genuine mate.
So we're in with a chance.
Bohdan has to do something very special just to win a point. Defending well, Andy Roddick, and just missing on the pass. Very flashy first serve.
Just calls upon his good friend, and out he comes.
To go with these very flashy shoes. Look at those. They've got chrome on them.
They look like something off your car.
I had a car with wheels like that once. Well, they are as flashy as I've seen. Except for the serve, catching the outside edge.
And again, no problems for Andy. 4-1 after ripping through the first 6-2 in just 20 minutes. This match, Joe, might not take as long. Ulihrach serving 1-4 second set.
And Andy Roddick playing anything like an Joe Average.
Love 50.
Bohdan started playing tennis when he was 6 in Prague, and had a great junior record. Was playing club tennis at 14. Turned pro in 93.
And club tennis in Europe is a little bit different to the interclub that we have in Melbourne and Sydney, where they've got all sorts of grades. This is semi-pro league, and to be doing that at 14 is an incredible
Amazing
accomplishment.
Yep. Well, he actually left home and went to live in a tennis club.
Well, I'll give you an idea, and you'll remember this, that Martin Verkerk, when he got to the final of the French, couldn't go to practice on grass next week because he was going to play in a little club tennis. That gives you an idea of how there's a few sleepers playing in club tennis. And some big money also, because it used to be one of the things that held back German tennis before the days of Boris Becker, because their leading players could make more money playing club tennis than they could on the tour. Great power and depth. His weaker side is possibly, probably his backhand, but it is no real weakness. Very versatile shot, and when he's got time and gets two hands on the racket, can penetrate. Pretty keen. He's made very few unforced errors, but it's been unkind to himself when he has made an error on a ball that he thought was makeable, just coming up through the flight of the ball a bit too much top spin, dipping down into the net. Pain.
Nope.
So Ulihrach holds and now has 2 games in this second set, 4-2.
The match settling down a little bit. Bohdan in the unfortunate position of being down a set and a break. And he's got a big task to get a break back against this man. Really is running hot. An incredible run during the American summer, culminating in the winning of the US Open. And there's the ace, first serve, second serve, and the number of aces is just incredible.
In contrast to someone like a Leighton Hewitt, Andy has played a lot of tennis.
Yes, well, when you're assessing who's got the chances coming into this event, you've got to factor those things in.
Yep.
Although he looks fresh, he looks keen, he's very young and fit. But the last 3 years for Leighton Hewitt, when he's come here, he's been exhausted by the very long campaign that he's gone through, which includes playing Davis Cup. And even though he's been ranked #1, really didn't have a real chance at his own national championship. Forehand there at 144.
Slowing down.
Went for control and placement.
And Roddick now close to taking the second set, and a stranglehold on this match. 5-2 in the second. Ulihrach serving now to stay in the second set. 2-5. Well, you could see Roddick a metre behind the baseline, so why not? It's always questionable, particularly on this surface, because it can bounce threateningly high. I mentioned at the start of this match that this pair had met three times on three different surfaces, in fact. And Andy Roddick yet to drop a set.
All of that happened long before Andy was #1 in the world.
Oh, my word. This was... all three matches were in 2002 in Sydney on a hard court, Monte Carlo on clay, and Wimbledon, of course, on grass.
Angry with himself for playing such a mediocre return just to the middle of the court, and it got punished. And certainly doesn't want to practice that type of tennis, because in the latter rounds the same thing will happen and it will cost him dearly. So Agassi is such a study in playing positive tennis. Might make the odd error, but every ball that he hits in is with purpose, depth, and has to be respected. Again, a little conservative on the return of serve as far as placement went. And Ulihrach would dictate play.
You mentioned Agassi. If you've just joined us, he was successful in his match against Roddick. Straight sets.
Yes.
First serve percentage of Ulihrach around 45 compared to Roddick's 71. And a double has given Roddick set point.
Andy looking for the call.
Just querying. I don't...
And that's why he only caught half the line. It's more checking that the call was being made. And Bohdan just has to play super tennis to win points.
Yes.
Not being very kind to the sponsor, knocking around the sponsor's sign on the tennis net.
Roddick.
So he gets a second set point. And he's given it on a plate. A double fault from Bohdan Ulihrach, and Roddick is in cruise control. 6-2, 6-2.
Shortly we'll go back to the Nicole Pratt match, but now we'll head to Rod Laver Arena. Andy Roddick is serving for the match. Your commentators John Alexander and Sandy Roberts.
Yes, Andy Roddick, the number 1 seed, the world number 1 in total control here, breaking Ulihrach in the third, serving now at 5-3. Whizzed through the first set in just 20 minutes, ripped through the second in 29 minutes, and is again making pretty short work of this third. Came into this match having met Ulihrach on 3 occasions prior, had not dropped a set, and it looks as though that is going to remain intact.
It's been quite a display by Andy Roddick, but it's to be anticipated these days.
And he probably won't mind Taylor and Dent going at it hammer and tongs for 5 sets. And he has a relatively easy run because he meets the winner of that match in the next round.
And that's a flat-out flu. 227. But so much more of a complete player than he was this time last year when it was early days with Brad Gilbert.
Well, what a jump going from 10 in the world to number 1. And only requiring the 1 match point. Andy Roddick is through to the third round. With a blitzing effort on Bohdan Ulihrach. 6-2, 6-2, 6-3.